It's Dave here from Amplify, and I'm talking to Tanya George. And
How you
so
doing?
I should have it on so that you just see her rather than me. But unfortunately, this is like a Beauty and the Beast situation. So it's a it's a
No,
it's a commercial sort of
you look
process
lovely today. You look
meant
lovely.
to get you thinking. Have you always wanted to be an artist, Tanya? Yeah.
Yes,
When
I
did you
have.
get the songwriting bug?
The songwriting bug probably started in high school when I think I was around, I would have been about year eight. So it would have been about 13, 14. And yeah, I just knew I wanted to be an artist. I knew I definitely wanted to be a singer from even younger. I started in the Australian Girls Choir at 5, but then I wanted to do private lessons by 11 and just begged my mum for private lessons and said, if I don't do singing lessons, I don't think I can continue with my life, like super dramatic. And
Yeah.
yeah, just kept going from there.
And parents musical, or where did you get the inspiration from? Did you
No,
watch, you know, Rage or something or other, or where did you get where did the inspiration come from?
no
School,
one mu
a teacher?
musical. Yeah, no one musical in my family. I just used to copy ads all the time off the TV and sing them back and sing around the house all the
And
time.
you got the bug.
Okay, yeah, and then mum put me in the choir because she's like, this girl won't be quiet. So, yeah, and then I just loved it from there. And it always made me, I think for me, music, when I sang, it made me feel good. And I think back when I was younger, I reckon it was from, I would get anxiety, but I didn't know what that was when I was younger. But when I sang, the anxiety would settle. So I'm like, oh, this feels good. This is good. All right, cool. I'll do this.
Well, I think a lot of people there, Lionel Richie used to say he crapped himself every time he performed as a solo after the Commodores for his whole life. And
Oh, wow, there you go.
you'd never pick it to look at him and to see the sorts of things he did. Okay,
Yeah.
next, briefly describe your journey today, but let me just highlight a few things. Your top five on The Voice in season 10, 2021.
Yeah.
Yep. You
Lockdown.
placed fourth overall at the prestigious Gwangju Busking World Cup in South Korea in 2023
Mhm.
and 2022's Buskers by the Lake competition. You won the Queen's Cliff Music Festival busking competition in 2018. So we're
Yep.
going back nearly 10 years there.
Wow.
And received the Alex Legg Memorial Foundation Scholarship Award in 2020.
Mhm.
We'll talk a bit more about the album a bit later, but so what's like it's 10 years, like you say, you're singing in front of the TV and all that sort of stuff, and then all of a sudden busking is a form of performance, but it's probably a harder form of performance because most people aren't expecting you to perform. They're turning up somewhere and you're just performing. It's a
Yeah,
bit
correct.
like that guy with the IGA cup outside of IGA with the cup asking for donations.
Yeah.
Having said that, we've seen what's her name become a super duper star, starting from busking up in Brisbane,
Yep.
and
Rosie
so
and
there's
I.
a lot of stuff has come from busking, so it's a great thing. So, give us a brief rundown of that, past 10 years and all that busking and where it was leading, where it was going.
Yeah, I think for me it was just about finding myself as an artist, busking as well, and really learning about crowds and how to formulate a show, and then also what captures people, what doesn't. And I sort of tried to just use that as a strategic move to build following, to build confidence, to build musicianship, and also life skills, as well, like talking to lots of randoms and yeah, just putting yourself in that position is very vulnerable and it's still the hardest thing I do. When I go out for a busk, every now and then, which is not as often now, but like it's still, I still get the
Confronting.
same. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's also one of the most incredible and natural things to do,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm 68, so when you get older, you hopefully you'll work out that nothing matters, and so basically, there's a moment and your collaboration with it. That's all that exists your whole life, and
Yeah,
so busking is like if you can turn your head off to whatever the outcomes are, you just turn up and do whatever that moment provides, and it's basically performance, and it's basically if you look at um, Sarah Bareilles and Yellow Brick Road, that video, she just turns up with a piano and darkened hall, and it's like a lifetime moment for people.
Yep.
And so if you turn up in that way, which is probably what happens in busking and all that sort of stuff, there's that potential. And obviously, with all that I spoke about before, the winning and all that sort of stuff, you've obviously keyed into that and you know how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think as well, it's just like it's just a beautiful exchange of energy between different people. So whether I was out there singing my heart out and someone decides, oh, I'm gonna draw like do a drawing or I'm gonna take some photos of her and get creative as well. You exchange this power between like being creative on a random Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it's the
Yeah.
perfect age for it. The podcast influence age allows people to accept busking as rather than an extreme sort of thing that's happening and embarrassment. It's like just another thing that they come across, another form of performance. How about the
Absolutely.
voice? How'd the
Yeah.
voice come along and what was that all like?
Yeah, the voice was yeah, it came along in 2021 and I wasn't ever really that keen to do it or anything like that. But because we had COVID happen, I realized that we weren't going to be doing much as musicians and performers for a while. But the only thing that was getting pushed through was still the show. So I sat down and did a little strategic plan, as I do, and realized that the show was going to have the highest views because everyone was at home and watching and trying to, stay healthy. And then
Survive.
yeah, totally. And then it was getting advertised all through the Olympics because the Olympics was on that year. And by the time the competition or the show finished, the contracts would be over by the time we'd be allowed out of our houses. So I knew it wouldn't affect me at all. And also I'd be still fresh from the show.
That's great. That's great. That's great. And Rita, how'd you find Rita?
She's a superstar, she's really cool. And
She is a superstar, of course.
I recently just saw her at the Grand Prix as well. She just played a show at the Grand Prix, so I saw her
Now,
show there.
in
Um,
23 you went back. You said, you made the album by 23, the albums are coming out, and then you
mhm.
said you'd had enough, you were tired with all this sort of effort, so you went overseas to muck around a little. Did you catch Rita at all overseas?
No, I didn't see her overseas. I saw her this year though in at the Grand Prix.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool, cool,
But
cool.
yeah, I was so exhausted from the whole existence of the album. I almost in a way like hated the album when I finished it, and I was like, okay, I need a break. I needed to step away for a moment. And I did, and I'm really glad I did that because now I feel so much more like myself and so much more
That's cool.
excited. Yeah.
Well, that's the only game we're playing is to
Yeah, totally.
find you, whether we
Yes.
find you as a singer or as a Mandela in jail, whatever it is, you got to find you. How would you describe your sound?
This album's sound is very soul driven. It's got a lot of funk elements. It's also still got a bit of pop in there. It's got jazz in there as well. And I would say it's like Erykah Badu, Jamiroquai, kind of gives me that jam. But then like maybe D'Angelo plays a couple of backbeats in there and maybe Ed Sheeran on guitar for the latest single. Yeah, like just kind of such a hybrid of different things accumulated into one piece of work that yeah, I'm very proud of this because the younger me always wanted to make sure this happened, and I made it happen. So
Which is sensational.
yeah,
You're a multi-instrumentalist. What other instruments? What instruments do you play?
play guitar, I play piano, obviously vocals, and
Ah,
I'm a vocal looper as well. If I need to fill in on a bass, I can. I DJ as well. So yeah, a few different things for sure.
I'm tired. I'm tired already. Okay, now let's talk a bit about the music. Your latest single, "The Devil's," just been released. And it's obviously come from your debut album, Contrast, which is coming out
Yep.
at the end of July.
Mhm.
And, you can tell us a bit about it in a sec. But my first question would be, with someone that's so active as you are, how can it be your debut album after like 10 years of performing music, etc.? I would have thought that someone like you would probably get to the 2 year stage and say, I've got to put an album out here. And I know about
Yeah,
COVID, but but
totally.
but even so, it's a long time to not bring out something when you're so, especially after the voice, you make top five, there's someone there coming to you. There must have been a label coming to you saying, we can make some money here.
Yeah, well, I did bring out Sonder. first. So Sonda was my first EP in 2018, and then I bought out a bunch of singles, and then I bought out a solo EP, Normality, and then I bought out a bunch of singles, and then now I've bought out this album. And the reason being that is because it's a great question. I believe that I wasn't ready back then to bring an album out, and that's the truth. And I'm not embarrassed by that or anything because I think people do rush things or people aren't so ready to put a certain type of work out into the world, whether they might not be performance ready or they might not be musically ready or they might not be ready mentally. And for me, my strongest point has always been performance. I've never been so much worried about that. But I think internally, I didn't feel ready, and now I feel more than ever ready.
which is
And
great.
yeah, and all those stepping stones that you mentioned, in my eyes, over the years, has been all a strategic, kind of calculated
Which is
move
which
to
is
build myself up to
essential.
exactly,
I
yeah.
think.
Instead of just
I,
going, oh, I've done one thing and now here's everything. I was like, no, I want to slowly build this so my career sustains and it stays around for 10 years. And that's why I've been able to tour internationally and throughout Australia and stuff too, just because I've let it build up
we
for so
we
long and I've stayed patient.
we come up in the social media sort of age where numbers supposedly and artists come up and say, I want numbers, I want numbers. And I say, it's the worst thing you can do is invite people to your house when it's not ready because you try and get
Exactly.
them back. They become
Exactly.
negative
Yeah.
advertisers rather than positive advertisers. You got to
Yeah.
get people at the right time. You got to see your career as a long-term thing. You get people as the wrong time at the right time. You convert them from audience into advertisers.
Yep.
You've got to have a lot of food to feed them. So what you've got here is you've got a great background of a whole range of stuff and a whole range of talents, and you've got the potential to build them. And I loved the video, by the way. I thought the
Oh,
video of the
thank
devil
you.
was cool. It was a little
Thank
bit.
you.
It was a little bit. I don't know. The players were like you know, morning TV or something or other. They're just sitting there. They all looked a little bit sterile.
Oh,
But
did they?
but you look fantastic as a result. Obviously, you stuck out. I'm sure you orchestrated
We
that.
all had a lot of fun. Well, we did a big night that night. We filmed a whole bunch of things and yeah, they did really good job. But we also I just wanted to make sure they were in there because
No,
this
they're
is
all in there.
yeah, a band EP whereas sorry, a band album, whereas my last EP was solo. So
Are
yeah.
they the people you tour with?
Some of them, yeah, we dub in and dub out because everyone's got families and kids
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
some
yeah.
are single and
All
some
right.
are on other tours. So
What tracks do you want me to listen to on
uh
on contrast? What are the ones? If I'm coming, I've never heard Tanya George before, and you're saying, okay, I've got an opportunity here. I've got a new fan. I want you to listen to Boom Boom.
I would say my favorite is Serious. Serious is the first single that came off the album, but it's my favorite. Um, but there's also really beautiful tracks like Daffodils and Violet Skies is a lot more gentle and a lot more jazzy. And then something like Serious is a lot more like angry. And then a song that's people's favorite in terms of arrangement is Piece of Mess, which is cool. And at the moment, the most seems to be like the most popular one is Unjust Things. So there you go.
Cool, 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 cool.
Nice.
Okay. Performance. You've got an album launch coming up at Wax Music Lounge on August the 8th.
Yep.
You got a couple of dates. You just did a couple of dates. You got a couple of dates in Melbourne. I think you got one tomorrow night. You've
Mhm.
got Bali, China, a couple of things you're doing over there.
Yep. Playing
Um,
festivals.
uh,
Yeah.
what are you looking forward to? And what can the fans expect?
I am very much looking forward to the album launch. That's my most exciting Melbourne launch for me, just in terms of being my roots. And then I can't wait to go to Bali. I'm playing the Ubud Folk Festival in Bali. And then City of Melbourne with Sichuan Airlines are sending me over to play at the Chengdu Festival
Cool.
in China, and I can't wait to play that as well. So
Uh,
I'm looking forward to my little Asia tour.
Anything else organised for later in the year, or you're just working it out?
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of things. I'm doing a Paran market takeover, which will be really cool. So we'll come,
Sensational.
yeah, the band will come in at the markets, and we'll be just taking over the markets and playing the album and telling the stories, which will be really cool.
We'll
Uh,
we'll try
great.
and send a photographer or something.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Come. Yeah, yeah. And that's on November 15th. For example, we've got some festivals lined up that I can't mention yet
No,
because we
no,
haven't
no. I understand.
confirmed the lineups, but and they haven't announced yet, but all sorts of things coming up, which I'm really excited for. It's gonna be awesome.
And do you find in performance, you know, because you've done the voice, because people can see videos of you in that really polished sort of process, do you find that they have an expectation sometimes to turn up and find the glitz and glamour of the voice, and when you're playing, Northcote or something like that, and you've got a simple stage, it's hard to sort of translate that, or you don't feel that at all.
Sometimes, yeah, but at the same time, I think it's the reality of being an artist of 2026 in Australia. You know, we have such a broad range of gigs that you can go to, and I think it's about just showing people diversity. For example, I
Sure.
did a really beautiful gig, really private and intimate gig at Sabi Sounds recording cafe, and it was so fun, and it was such a
Cool.
small, but I love an intimate audience. I think that's where I can connect the most. And everyone had such a good time, you know?
Yeah, I've got a view. You build an audience one person at a time, because the
Exactly.
exponential of that over the long period of time is they bring legitimate followers. People that pay and people that want to watch, not people that see you. You have a nice shape, and they're men in somewhere, and they just turn up for that sort of reason. So sometimes social media can be a bit of a folly. If you could
Yeah.
perform with any music artist, alive or dead, who would you choose? Why?
Oh, definitely Erica Badu, I reckon. I think as a singer or as a vocalist, and a musician, Erica Badu has the most incredible like music choices in terms of her phrasing with her vocals. She's got an incredible tone as well. And she just really uses her voice and her soul as an instrument, not just as, a performer or a
Yeah,
singer.
yeah, yeah.
That's always been my same mentality. So yeah, would love to be in a room with her.
Okay, long-term aspirations. What have you still? What do you? If you could, dot dot dot, what would it
Yeah.
be?
I definitely have always thought about I would love to support and go on to supporting Alan Stone. So I've got that on my little wish list. I would love to meet Ariana Grande as well. I think she's one of the best vocalists of our time.
She's cute. When I say that, I mean in terms of comedy. She's
Yeah,
very comedic, and yeah, she's really cool. And she when she does those voice the not
yeah,
voiceovers, the she does all the different artists. She's really cool.
yeah, and she's just got one of the best voices in terms
Yeah,
of
she
tech
has.
range and stuff like that.
Albeit that when she was on that film,
Yeah,
the other
with
the other girl was probably, she had a bigger voice, didn't she? The was well,
oh,
I suppose it's
they're
up for
both
grabs.
got pretty amazing voices. I'd give them both 10 stars, to be
But
honest.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, let's finish off. Let's have a few minutes of those stupid questions that everyone loves in an interview. What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Craziest thing I've ever done. I would say one of the craziest feelings that it felt wild was the whole going to South Korea and performing and ending up in the finals and landing fourth place. That was the most incredible, crazy experience of my life. I loved it.
I would think The Voice is pretty crazy, because
Voice
basically
Korea.
you turn up, and it's for us, we see it as a very authentic sort of process, but I'm sure
Yeah.
it's very antiseptic, with chosen moments and chosen times and chosen stop, start, all that sort of gear.
I think the craziest thing would be actually looping on the voice. It would be
Yeah, there you
that's a
go.
crazy thing to decide to do. Yeah, for sure.
You must have done a collab with Rita as well, did you, on the show?
No, I didn't get to do that unfortunately because it was COVID. They had a very strict rules and yeah,
All right.
but that's all right. Soon. She did say to me, "I'll see you up here with me one day." And I was like,
That's
"Thanks."
right. That's right. That's right. What's the one topic you can talk about for hours?
Oh, singing, music. Yep, definitely.
What's the thing you like most about yourself? I'd say hair myself, but that's
Yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah,
personal
totally.
thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely love my hair. I also I think I'm just able to get along with anyone, and I think that's a really cool thing. I'm not a very judgmental person at all, and I just love everyone. So I think, yeah, just being able to get along with anyone, anytime, any age, yeah, and just being able to connect with people.
Okay, these are all time or current. Favorite album?
Oh, favorite album, favorite album. I have many, but probably Erica Badu's Baduism is one of
Uh,
my favorite albums. Yep.
Favorite artist?
Oh, Ariana Grande, Jamiroquai, Erykah Badu, but I also love like the old classics like Frank Sinatra and oh, I have so much respect for like Doechii as well. I could, yeah, list goes on. So many.
Prince?
Yeah,
I
Prince
saw
people.
I saw I saw Prince do a song with at the at the what do you call it? The when they introduced people to the Hall of Fame. And he did a song with Jeff Lynne and, a whole stack of, there were four of them out there. They didn't even know he was turning up. And he sort of turned up side stage. And then he did this riff that was just, went for about 2 minutes. It was just unbelievable. And at the end of it all, he picked the guitar up and he threw it into the crowd and he
Yeah.
walked off. It was just like a Prince moment. It was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Awesome. No, no, I
Fa-
love that.
Favorite movie?
Oh, my favorite movie. It's actually a Studio Ghibli film called Spirited Away.
Favorite place to visit?
Love Berlin. Love, love, love Berlin.
It's a great place. Favorite venue to play?
Favorite venue to play. Oh, great question. I love Wax Music Lounge, and I think that's why I've decided to do
Yeah.
Wax Music Lounge
Oh,
for my
why
album launch.
not? Why not?
Yeah,
Favorite food?
Japanese.
Favorite drink?
Ooh, I would say a Japanese slipper, which is a Midori drink.
Favorite person in history, apart from me?
I love that. Favorite person in history. Ooh, who's someone I really look up to? So I love Marianne Williamson. She's a philosopher. She's
Yes,
amazing.
I know. She ran for president.
Did she really? Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah. And there's also her name is Renee Brown, I'm pretty sure, and she's also a philosopher as well. And I've read a lot of her stuff as well.
Favorite. Look, I've got a whole spiel on that I'm not going to do now because we haven't got
All
time. But
right.
basically, you go from it's like unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence to conscious competence to unconscious competence. And
Love
in
it.
the progression, you learn that wisdom all comes from inside. In my view, wisdom comes from inside, not outside. So
Yeah.
you read other people and when you find it wise, it had to be wise in you for you to identify it. So once you understand that, you don't read as much and you just experience. So
Yeah.
I think that that's a pretty cool thing that I'm sure you'll come to. Do you have any tattoos?
I do.
What's your
Many.
favorite?
Oh, I
You
would say
can't you can't show me, but
this one here. It says keep singing baby on my arm here.
fantastic.
Love that. Yeah.
Okay, let's just finish very quickly with this. My view is a career is basically like I spoke about Sarah Bareilles.
Yeah.
When you can do that, you've got a career.
Yeah.
When you can do Prince, you've got a career. Don't worry about numbers. Don't worry about social media. Don't worry about structuring a process and getting somewhere and getting the right people and all that sort of stuff. That's a conditioned business sort of aspect. And yeah, sure, it does play some sort of a part. But if you can do any of those things, if you can create that sort of process, you've got a career. And from what I've felt in the video, I think that it's definitely in you. So I would continue to just go down that path and not worry about all the measured sort of stuff. So,
Thank you. And I was going to share this before I went as well. This is my vinyl. I
oh,
just
that looks
it.
fantastic, man.
It looks great. I'm so stoked. And I was just so emotional yesterday when I opened it all up.
Absolutely sensational.
And
So
yeah.
we're fans. So we're now fans. We're connected. So whenever you need to, just yell out and away we go.
Thank you
And I'll
so
I'll
much for
get
the
I'll
time.
get you back for that longer interview,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I'll get you crying at the 10-minute stage, saying that your mum left you on a corner at 5 or something like that.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate your time.
Much love and you take care.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
You too. Good luck with everything. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.